to the corner. Hi.
Well, and Max Stalling is delighted to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
So it's like 5 years since your last album, 5 years
yeah.
since your last visit?
I think so. I guess we're establishing a trend here.
Yeah, every 5 years, whether we need it or not.
Right. But I should be here more often. I'll make a point of that.
Well, that's sweet of you. Now tell me this, because I've read a couple of people that, interviews and reviews of things since Banquet came out, your new album. Has it really been over 5 years since you had an album?
It has, and I didn't realize that. I had done the Topaz City project, and then I did the Home to You project with Lloyd, and in that interim, Heather and I got married, and then just, I don't know, life gets busy and hectic. And
well, and y'all are both working all the time.
yeah, we're both traveling and gigging a whole bunch, and so yeah, I looked up one day, and it was, it takes a good year to kind of get the songs lined up, and get the studio lined up, and get the musicians lined up, and then get it made, and then get it out the door. So yeah, it wound up being almost 5 years.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing in a scary kind of way.
Yeah, because it tells you how busy you are.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's just time is a bizarre concept. It's beginning to really freak me out a little bit.
It doesn't always work in our favor, but it does. It has a fluidity that I'm not sure we quite understand.
No, and it's getting slipperier, and less. I just can't seem to hold on to it.
Well, now tell me about having someone that you're married to who also performs. How's that?
It's wonderful, obviously, because that's my first answer. Of course, it comes with its, we're both in the same industry, and so the slings and arrows that the industry suffers, we suffer doubly.
Yes.
But then when we come home and we can commiserate on the slings and arrows and the difficulties, she knows what I'm trying to accomplish, I know what she's trying to accomplish. We can use each other as sounding boards for ideas and goals and objectives and dreams. And it's really great. It
Good.
really is wonderful, because I don't know that anybody else could put up with what I'm trying to do, and vice versa.
Well, that's such an interesting point, and Ed always used to say, because he and I worked together for so long, that he didn't recommend it to everybody, and you can't recommend it to everybody to be in the same business. Because it's very hard for the business to leave you alone.
Oh yeah.
But if you can tolerate that, and as musicians, I think you can. You live with your work all the time.
It's there 24/7.
Yeah.
And we share an office, and not only do we share an office, but we have kind of a partner's desk, and so we sit looking at each other
that's
when
cool.
It is. We get to play footsie and all that stuff, but then at the same time, she'll be knee deep in something that she's really focused on, and then I'll say, hey, where are we going to eat dinner tonight or something? It's like yank, and it goes. It's just a screeching stop.
Yeah.
At any rate, it's fun. We have a lot of fun.
Well, I'm sorry, Heather's not here to speak for herself, but
Well, she agrees with everything I say.
I see. Well, that's very convenient.
So it's really not a problem.
So after the show, what's the first thing you do when the show's over?
Honestly, call Heather generally. There's elements. The show stops, but then go to the merch booth and visit with people and hang out. But then when all those things are those boxes are checked, and then touch base with Heather, see how her night's gone, wherever they may be, and then on to the next thing.
And then on to the next thing.
Yeah.
What do you eat after the show?
Lately?
Or ever? Or what's your favorite thing to eat?
Cheetos.
Cheetos.
I love
regular Cheetos.
Regular crunchy Cheetos. I've gotten on a bench, like a thing lately, and the guys kind of started making fun of me because we check in the hotel and they're like, "There's the vending machine. There's your friend."
You ought to
for later.
stop at the store and buy a big bag.
That's a terrible idea.
Could
That's
you eat
a
them
terrible
all?
idea. Yeah. No, just man, a little bag of Cheetos at the end of the night. Set you free.
Well, I'm glad. Okay. Well, let's talk about Banquet.
Let's talk about it.
I don't know if it's going to show. It's very pretty, but it's rather quiet looking, cream colored and a little goldish brown.
But then,
But
ideally,
then you open it, and looky, It's a party.
We did this photo shoot at a place called The Color Condition in Dallas, and they're these two gals, Sunny and Marianne. They have their performance art people, and their thing, their muse and the medium that they work in is flowing like crepe paper and anything that you can make a streamer out of.
Oh, okay.
And it's really cool, and you ought to go to their website, thecolorcondition.com, and look up their stuff, and man, it's just, and they've got dancers and people that do all kinds of really, really interesting things.
So were you part of a happening, Max?
Well, I don't know, I can only hope. But Allison Smith, who's done all of my photography over the years, she always picks these really cool, and I never know what she's going to come up with. So I'll usually send her the finished record and say, listen to this, and then she'll say, I got an idea for where we should go do a photo shoot. And she's never failed me yet. And that's that thing we were talking about earlier. I love the process of making records and the packaging and putting all the songs together next to each other like they're chapters in a book. And I know it's kind of an arcane art and science, but I love it. I still do like it, and I don't know that it makes any sense business-wise anymore, but it's sure a lot of fun.
If you are a creative artist, the album project should have a whole. To me, it's like writing a book. And when you just get 10 records thrown together, here's 10 songs, they don't have anything to do with each other, there's no pattern to this, I find it disconcerting. Now, I know that people don't listen that way anymore.
No.
But if you present them with music that is structured, that does have an organization, if they ever decide to, they're going to get an extra benefit out of listening.
I'd like to believe that. I mean, that art form stood for many years, and a lot of people enjoyed it. I just don't know that as a society, we take the time. I know I do not, personally, and I should, and shame on me. I don't take the time to sit down. It's very infrequent. I did it with the Turnpike Troubadours' latest project, and listen front to back, and make a point to like, okay, these things go together for a reason. But I don't know that we as a society have the patience anymore to do that, and that kind of freaks me out.
It does require focus. Now, you did a couple of covers on this album.
I did.
What caused that?
I don't know. Over the years, the first 5 records I did, or 4 records I did, I didn't put any cover songs. It just wasn't something that I did, and I had an overflow of songs and material. And then when this record came around, I just really I wanted to put some covers on it just because I wanted to kind of share what some of my loves are. And then also, I didn't have a whole songs that I felt super strong about. At the end of the day, the 12 that were going to go on there, I had several more that I'm like, I'm not sure these are quite ready to be released to the world. And also, some of my idols over the years, I've noticed that they've always put cover songs on their projects. And so I made the decision.
So we have a Beatles song.
We have a Beatles song.
And we have a Doug song.
We do.
Pretty interesting. Is it the
And
time period? Is it
no,
just the song itself?
Just coincidentally, there's a restaurant in Dallas and a music promoter and a booking guy named Mike Snyder who has the All Good Cafe. And it's a really great restaurant there in Dallas. His slogan, and I don't know, Waco folks don't take this personally, but his slogan is, it's like being in Austin without having to drive through Waco.
Oh, my word.
Or like going to Austin without having to drive through Waco.
That's
So I don't know what he means by that.
I don't either,
I
but
don't know what that means. But he has this really cool, the All Good Cafe, and on his website he has that Doug song tune. And every time I've ever gone to his website, I'm just like, that is such a great song. And I just love the vibe and the feel of it. So we worked that one up. And then the Beatles tune, man, I just always love the Beatles. They're, as a songwriter, their craftsmanship and their melodies and their, wow, it's just, it's a really high bar. And then thirdly, every record I've ever done, I've had a song about home, it seems like, on there. I'm kind of a sucker for home, and this song talks about going home.
Well, that's great. Now, Banquet is the name of it. Why is Banquet the name of it?
Well, I struggled for a long time putting this record together because I wasn't sure that making a record, as we just finished talking about, was really the right thing to do. Because I don't know that people really, I don't know that they buy collections of songs and listen to them in that format. And so my initial idea was I was just going to go in and record 5 songs. But then I got the time slotted and I got all the musicians lined up and I got Lloyd on the hook, and it just occurred to me that I can't just go do that. I want to make a full record. And so we did. We went in, we recorded 12 songs. I hunted up the Dodd sisters with Backstage Design Studio and got the artwork going and just wound up making this full-length project. In the meantime, when I decided on I was looking for the title of the record, and there's one of the songs has the word banquet in it, and I was like, that's an interesting word, and so I did a little research on it, and as it turns out, the word banquet, we think of it as a bunch of people in a large room, kind of festooned, and then a lot of food laid out. Its original meaning in Old French, as it turns out, was a small snack or a midday break that a craftsman might take. Like, say I'm a blacksmith, I might turn on my workbench and open up a handkerchief with some cheese and bread in it and just take a real short little break. And so I thought that was interesting that it went from meaning this and becoming this, the same way this was just supposed to be a small undertaking, and it wound up being this much larger
project. Interesting. Well, that's great.
Long answer, short question.
But it's a good, interesting answer. So, if people want to find out where you're playing, if people want to get a hold of Banquet, if they want to just see what you're up to, where do they do this?
They go to maxstalling.com.
Okay.
There's no S on the back end.
Good point, because I've seen it wrong all
it
places.
happens. I have a stack of the S's that I've taken off of marquees over the years.
Love that.
I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Collage.
Yeah, make a collage or something. At any rate, yeah, go to maxstalling.com, and all the information that you need will be right there.
Now, I have one final question for you. I know that you often reference or somehow Crystal City comes into your music. What's the one thing that people don't know about it that they need to know about?
I think by now they know, because I walk around telling people this all the time, but it's the spinach capital of the world.
Well, that's very important.
That is important. Beyond that, it's a fantastic place. Don't ask my wife or my band members about it, because they'll tell you that it's kind of dreary and way down in the brush country, which are the things that I love about it. I don't know, Crystal City's just this unique little, I think it's unique because I'm from there, but talk to somebody from Llano and they'll tell you Llano's unique. Just,
yeah, well.
So, I don't know. It's the spinach capital of the world.
Spinach, that's exciting.
We have not one, but 2 statues of Popeye.
For heaven's sake. Now see, there's a little known fact.
We used to just have the one, but I guess the crush of the media trying to get to Popeye, they had to open a second office over there.
Very
so
important.
People could go by and see it.
Well, thank you, Max. It's a treat to have you here.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.